We are, well, it says I'm live, but it's not showing my screen. It's not showing the correct image, and that's not good. There we go. Much better now. Alright. So, I realized I'm open in the middle here, this little book of mine here that is my date book. And here, let me just go to a blank page on the front thing here. There we go. And it doesn't have a cover yet. So I have cut out some paper that I will use for the cover, both covers, front and back. And then some other papers I'm going to use to make new bookmarks. These bookmarks are too tall, and if I try to cut them, they will break. So I am going to make some new bookmarks as well, and I just have fun stuff to do that with. And so, you know, I thought I would do that while you guys are here. So, let's see. I don't know, I think on the front I might do some, like, fun little weaving something or other, maybe. We're going to see what I think about it. I think I'm going to start off by putting this right here. Alright, let's see if that is in the screen, of course. Alrighty. And then just deciding on some pieces that I want to weave. So I have some tape here and some fun pieces of paper. You know, I think I'm going to start off, let's see, with I think I'm just going to kind of start weaving things from the middle and see what happens here. And just kind of make it grow with weird pieces. I don't know, dudes. I'm just kind of having fun with it. I'm just kind of seeing what happens, right? So here's a bunch of little pieces, and I'm going to, let's see. Obviously, this is not going to cover the entire piece, or maybe it will eventually. We'll find out as we go, right? It's all kind of experimental. You never know what's going to happen here. Just me being an odd duck, because why not? Meh. So, let's see. Alright, so there's a couple pieces going that way, and then let's see. I'm actually going to switch this one out for a long, no, I'm going to leave this one like that. Because then if I take a longer one and some scissors, I know I have scissors. I thought I put them right here where I could reach them, and I don't see them because that would be convenient. Wait, found a pair. Alright. So now I'm going to go over like here. Whee! Alright. And let's see. Just kind of weave. Woohoo! And I think I'm looking at the wrong screen for you guys. I want to make sure I can actually see if you're asking questions. So let me get the right screen up. You know what? Sometimes I'm just not even sure which screen. Oh, it's because this is the I'm looking at you on my smaller screen. That's why. Usually when I do lives, I have the really big screen that I can see you on. But this time I'm using the small screen, so I can't see as much stuff. So let's see. I think what I'm going to do, now that I'm getting started, I think I'm just going to weave together a bunch of these random pieces of paper and try to get it to kind of cover this whole thing, right? And then I might put a couple, like, fun little stickers or something on it, too, or I have some, you know what? Actually, here. Ha ha ha. See, this is what happens when you join me just being a goofball, is Okay, I just do random stuff. So I have these little cutout things as well as some stickers. I think I'm going to take my scissors here. Actually, I'm going to take the longer scissors and what do I want? This is kind of cool, but I also like, I like crafting is always a good idea, and I like create beauty and make life pretty. I really like crafting is always a good idea. These are a little pink, and they're a little cheery for me, but that's okay. I'm going to use them anyway. So I'm going to take out this crafting is always a good idea. Okay. And I'm just going to cut this out. And over here too. Okay, and it looks like I got a little bit of the white right there. Okay, and we'll cut this part. Whee! Okay, and now that I've done that, I think I'm going to put it like here. Okay, and I'm just going to take a piece of double stick tape here, and I will in a minute. Before I do that though, I want to plan out a few more things. Let's see, I also have all of these fun little stickers, right? They're mostly, well no, they're not all sewing, good. Okay, so is there anything else? I think some of these, if I use any of these, they will go on top of the weaving that I'm doing. So I think I can leave this one. I wish this were actually a proper ruler, but it is not. It's not quite long enough to be a ruler, an actual proper ruler. So I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to take this double stick tape, and I'm just going to stick it right in the middle, so that I can still easily work around this. Alright, I don't want to stick the edges all the way down yet, so I'm going to decide, I think I like it right about like this. Okay, so there we go, there's that. And let's see, is there anything else that I want to just put in here? Oh wait, there's another page of stickers here. Ooh, art therapy is cool. And here is another create beauty that I really like. Make pretty things, make life pretty. When in doubt, just add glitter. I am creative. You can't expect me to be neat too. Being creative is not a hobby, it's a way of life. Arg. I don't know, guys. I think, again, I still think it might end up going, I think some of the stickers might end up going on top of the other stuff. So now what I'm going to do is take these various pieces that I have, right? And weave them around this. So, no, I'm not sewing, I am weaving. Alright, I'm going to start like here. Okay, and then that means that some of the other pieces I can actually stick kind of underneath here. That's why I wanted to leave it just gently stuck on, like just only stuck on in the center, so that I can put these other pieces tucked underneath like this, okay? So I'm just tucking that underneath, and now I'm going to take another piece that's going to need to go this way. And you know, as things go, things get messy, but I can fix them. And you know what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and line up a bunch of these right here. Okay, so I think in order to do that, first I'll just line them up, then I'll put something on them so that they stay where I want them, something to hold them in place, and then I will tape them down underneath this little dude. Alright, so I'm going to use this piece because this is actually cardstock, so it's much more stable. So that one's going to go right there, and I think I'm going to go ahead and tape that one down. And I'm just using Scotch tape for this because it's not going to be seen. So I'm going to just Scotch tape this one down. And we'll put the Scotch tape on there, the clear tape. I'm not really sure if that's the brand or not. Okay, so I get it lined up nicely with that. And put that down there. Alright, now I can go this way. You see, and sometimes you just kind of, look, this is the piece I cut off from the bottom of this sticker. I'm going to use it, or this little doodad here. I'm just going to use it here as part of my weaving. Right there. And more little bits and baubles that I have floating about, some different colors and different thicknesses. Let's see. And I can always cut things if I need to, if they're too long. I don't know, man. I'm just kind of, oh, here we go. Here's a couple different colors and stuff. So here's this light blue lined paper. All right, and another piece of white. Okay. And let's see. I like I've got a couple pieces of graph paper that I will use here. Come on, get under there, please. Thank you. Okay, graph paper. And some more of the brown paper. And this purple lines. Okay, and here's a cool polka dot. And actually I think I'm going to make the polka dot one right here, and then I'm going to need to find, actually that's, I'm going to take another piece of cardstock. Actually I can just cut the end. Let me find the smaller scissors. Don't need the overkill ones right now, so we'll take this. And I'm just going to cut off the end bit here from this one and line it up on the other side. And then I'll have to add one more piece, I'm pretty sure, to get everything in here neatly. Okay, here we go. Lift that up, tape this down, there, and then I'm going to need, I think, one more piece of paper to fill in this whole space. We'll see. Let me get them all nice and pretty laid out well. So, let's see. Here we go. This is cool. I'm having fun with this. Very relaxing. Just having a good time. Because crafting is always a good idea. So here we go. And I really don't remember which one I put in here first, and it really doesn't matter. I'm just going with whatever, dude. Okay, come on. Come on, you little purple piece. Purple people eater. I'd sing it, but I'm not sure if it's still under copyright, so I don't want to get in trouble. Alright, and one more kind of thicker, so I will take just one of these pieces. This is definitely thicker, and put it right here. Come on, there we go. And now I'm just going to kind of space these out a little bit better. Let's see. I might replace actually this one with one that's a little bit thicker than that one. Just then I don't have to make up as much space. Ooh, perfect. Look at that. Okay, so that goes there, and then this can slide up here. And this can slide up here, and everybody looks to be a happy camper as far as where they are all sitting. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is take something a little heavier to hold those down where I want them. Alright. I actually have like old-fashioned iron irons that are small that I really often will use for things like this, for holding things down, but they're not right here. So, alright, I missed one, and it's kind of wobbly and not perfection, but that's what happens when you don't always plan ahead of time, and that's okay. There we go. Alright, it'll all end up where we need it in the end. This little piece, I think I'm going to have to just pick up this end a little bit. Slide this one over a little bit there. Okay, now I can start weaving the other direction, and that's going to make everything kind of fall into place a lot better. So I will take this one. Is it long enough? It is. And I'm just going to weave the, you know, under, over, under, over, under, over thing. And you know what? Alright guys, I'm going to think a little more clearly here. I'm going to trace this. Okay, whoop. Trace that, lift it up, and now get things taped down in a more realistic fashion, because that did not tape down properly. And that then made it hard to weave. So, there we go. Now that I know I have the right number of pieces, we're just going to get them to line up in a better fashion and tape them down more completely. Okay, so I'm just going to tape a couple at a time here. There, 1, 2. Then I'll get the next one laying down neatly so that I can actually weave. Roll the tape onto that. Get the next one lying down neatly. There. See, sometimes when you improvise, you have to keep on trying. It doesn't always work well the first time. You have to just kind of go, oh wait, no, this doesn't work. Maybe I should do this. Right. And again, this is going to be the cover to my my journal. You know, I find that with my schedule and my to-do list and everything, I work better having it written down on actual paper. And so that's why I have this journal here. It's just got like 1/4 inch-ish. I think it's a little smaller than 1/4 inch, maybe 1/2 centimeter, which would be 5 millimeters. Little dot grid on it, and then I just put in my schedule in there. So, see, this one actually needs to be a little thinner. There we go. That one's a little thinner, and there. Now everything is lying neat, and now I should be able to weave without having issues. There. And I have the outline of where this is going to go, so I can put that on top later and not worry so much about Um, if everything lines up. Here, let's see. Alright, cool. Let go. Let go, my ego. Let's see. If I'm going to turn this over and just check where that edge is. So, because there was like, you could see a little corner bit, but it looks like if I go right here, then I will be good. Let's pull it all the way up. There. Beautiful. All right. I like that very much. That is exactly where I want it. So now I'm going to cheat a little bit by, well, no, I can't do that yet because it will make life difficult when I keep weaving. So we will leave that right there. Woohoo! And we'll leave a few more going this way. So let's see. How about this? Ooh, this is glittery. That's fun. Sure, we'll do the glittery one next. Okay. There we go. There. And I'm going to just pull it this way as much as I can so that when I cut off the extra, I have as much extra as possible to use elsewhere. Alright, over here I'm just going to, this one's really long and getting in my way, so I'm just going to trim it. Okay. Once I get this woven probably, far enough, I'll make sure everything is laying exactly where I want it. Okay, and I just want a kind of more plain one. Is this one kind of plain? It is. It's not going to be long enough though. I want a kind of plainer one that's longer. There may be a lighter. I can always just use the wrong side of one of these, right? Oh, not one of the painted ones though, because the painted ones are here. We'll turn one of these over. There. It's fine. There's no reason why you can't use the back. And there we go. And these pieces, they're all just scraps from things that I've made. The little pieces that you cut off to get something exactly the size that you want it. So that's what, these are all those sorts of scraps. And sometimes when I'm making things, I'll just cut the scraps into 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch wide pieces so that I can use them for weaving at another point. And sometimes I'll just leave them in whatever shape they are if they're big enough to use to make like book pages or something out of. Okay, so there's that. And now we'll go with, is this going to be long enough? It is. So you just always want to make sure, of course, that you have the length that you need, unless you don't mind adding on, which I probably wouldn't mind doing it, but I'm not going to, I don't think, because I think I can make it work without having to do that. Okay. So now what I want to do is just double check that this is kind of where I want it. So I think this piece wants to, we're going to slide everything up a little bit here. There we go. There. Now that is exactly where I want this guy. And so now, since I don't have to, okay, now I'm going to take, I had sewing clips. See, again, this is what happens when I don't always plan completely ahead of time. Alright, so I'm going to take these little sewing clips and use them to hold some of these where I want them. Right, and then there'll be a few places, there'll be places where I can just kind of like tape it into place, and places where I can't because I still need to weave. But I want to hold that one on exactly where I want it. So let me make sure it is now exactly where I want it. It is. And now what I'm going to do is get each of this whole little woven section that I've completed, just right exactly how I want it. And then I'll be able to do a little bit of just securing on the back to make sure that everything stays where I want it as I continue weaving. So let's see, we got this, we got this. Okay, now I'm going to take one more clip and slide it right here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is carefully flip this over. Okay, and then just take some tape and tape all of this extra bit just to hold that all together, right? I mean, that's not going to be part of the finished book cover, but it's going to, at least now, that's going to hold it together. So I don't really have to worry much. It's not going to be part of the finished piece, but that will hold everything together where I want it. And it's not going to interfere with the weaving because those pieces don't need anything else woven into them. This one right here might, but I can just move that little tiny edge of the tape. But you can see how, pretty much almost everything that I've taped together back here, nothing else needs to weave into it, so I'm safe with it like that. So now we're going to do the 90-degree angle one. Okay, and here I'm going to also kind of clip these longer pieces off in case I want to use them in another area. Okay, there we go, and also just to keep my life a little less messy. So now we're going to go with a longer piece across here. I'm going to take, I think, ooh, this is really pretty. I like this one. I'm going to take this piece and go this way. Okay, there we go. I like that. That is nice. So I think I'll do more pieces going this way for a little bit. Let's see. Going to need some of the longer pieces. I may need to grab some of my longer pieces because, yeah, these are, let me just grab a few pieces that are longer. Hold on. Looking for longer pieces because I need them. Alright, hold on. I'm finding some longer pieces that are different kinds of paper and stuff. Alright, hold on. Oh my goodness. So much stuff. You're like, why is there nothing on the screen? I don't even know if you can hear me, dude. But hold on. I'm working on it. Okay. Here I come. And some magazine pieces. Alright, so there we go. More pieces that are longer. Didn't quite plan that one out properly, did I? Alrighty. So now, let me get some of this out of my way so that we can all see a little bit better. Okay. So some of this stuff out of my way. And here we have my bookmarks are hiding under there, and I have some longer pieces there. Here we have some shorter pieces. Here's some longer pieces. Okay, and you can see some of these are just old pieces of paper from various, programs from places that I've been, and advertisements that I've gotten in the mail that I've dyed with, like, tea or coffee or turmeric, all sorts of fun things to dye paper with. So that's what's going on with these. And I'm just going to weave some of these through each other. And this is a National Geographic magazine, because they have tons of photos. I had a subscription for a couple of years, many moons ago. I think it was like the 90s. I kept them all because I was like, these, you want to keep your old National Geographics. I knew I was going to have kids, and I was like, so, if they need them for collages or just research or whatever, and, now the kids are all grown, and I'm like, I'm going to use them for fun art stuff. So, I've been doing that. Okay, let's see, and let's do another one of these. Oops, that's a little one. There we go, another one of these. These are fun. Okay. There we go. And, now I think I'm going to weave a little bit this way to get, to make sure that everything is covered properly. I think we're going to need to go underneath this one. There we go. What's going on over here? This piece has just decided it wanted to be there, but it wasn't actually part of anything. Okay. So there we go. Going that way a little bit. Okay. Need a couple more pieces to get all the way to this corner. Okay. Oh, I thought I put you underneath this little brown piece here. I really thought I did. There we go. Get you under there. There. Now it's definitely covering all the stuff it needs to cover, and we still need to get to this corner though. So I'm going to do just this little white piece here. Okay. There we go. And it's still not quite to the corner, so I will take this little piece here and get that done. Alright, that should do it. So what I'm going to do now is carefully lift that up. Put the clip right here. Let me just make sure that all of this is sitting how I want it. So not quite. Making sure everything up here sits how I want it. Here, here. There, now that's all sitting how I want it. Carefully lift this up, put this clip right here. That fixed. Okay, and flip this over carefully. And now I'm just going to continue with the tape. You know what, it's actually fine if it tapes to the cardstock part too. I think I'm going to have it do that here. There we go. I didn't tape all the way to that corner in case I need to adjust a few pieces at the edge, but that will help a lot. And now with it turned this way so I can see what I'm doing and I don't cut the wrong thing, I'm going to just cut some of this. Okay. There we go. And nice. Okay. Alright. And now we can keep weaving this way. I think we're going to spin it around like this so that I can just reach things a little nicer. Reach things a little better, easier. I don't know. Alright. I'm trying to make sure I'm keeping in the screen for all of you. And let's see. We'll take this, I think. You know what, maybe we'll just take a nice piece of, this looks like some sketch paper. Probably is just some sketching, drawing paper. And let's weave this one. There we go. Make sure everything's lying properly. There. Alright. Make sure all of these are lying properly. There we go. And let's get a couple going this way so they'll be holding on a little better. Now it only needs to go to just below this brown line all the way up to here, because that's where that stickery piece is going, right? So they don't have to be super long, so I can use some of these shorter pieces that are fun. Alright, like some of the... Ooh, look, I have a green. That's cool. I like this green. And there was that polka dot one that kept trying to be part of things earlier that now I don't see. I can hear my child upstairs. I can hear my son upstairs. My child, he's not really a child. He's 18. I can hear him upstairs, and I keep waiting for him to come downstairs and be like, "What you doing?" Let's see. Here we go. There. Alright, so there's that. And we'll do this brown. We'll do the brown and the white because they were stuck together, so they obviously both felt the need to be part of the book cover here. There we go. And then we'll do this one. Woohoo! And, I don't really know. Actually, because of the way my screen is, I don't even know if anybody's here. I'm supposed to be able to do both vertical and horizontal at the same time, but I can not get this darn thing to do vertical and horizontal at the same time. So whatever, dude. I'll do it some other time. I'll figure it out, and then we'll be able to do that. And let's see. Now what? I like this stuff. What is this stuff? Graph paper. That's what this stuff is. I like the graph paper. So we'll do that. Graph paper. Yay! There we go. Oop, I'm going to make it a little longer so that it actually is... that way I can like tape all of this down here, where it will be really nice and easy to tape it down. Because it'll be underneath the one, thingamadoodle, the stickery thing. It's not really a sticker, but you know what I mean, the little phrase plaque thingamadoodle. Alright, let's see, I like this one. Oh, this is 2. I do not need 2, I only need 1. There we go. And what else? Can use a longer one and cut it. How about this guy? I kind of like this one. There. I think I want to get all the way to that edge and then just tape that all down in here on this side, and then I'll be able to keep going. And I can't use that yet, it's not quite long enough yet. Where's that little gold piece that had kept trying to jump in and now it's gone? Oh, I bet you this is probably just flipped over and this is it? Maybe, maybe not. No, but that's pretty, so we're gonna use it. Alright. There we go. Almost. And, oh, I bet you this one's it. Haha, it is, but I'm not going to use that now because then I just used the other one. Why is this colored pencil here? Let's see. I think, ooh, here's this really skinny little piece of wider graph paper. Very bright graph paper. That is like seriously bright graph paper. That's insane. I like it. Okay, and whatever this is. It looks kind of light purplish gray, but I think it's just supposed to be white. It's just next to the other things. That's kind of the shade of white that it is. It is a soft white as opposed to a bright white. Alright, and a few more. You can just use one of these stripy bits are here, one of these pieces that are smaller at this point, because we're almost to that edge. I think basically this will do it. Yeah, this will do it. This will get me all the way to the other edge of the sticker. So I'm going to do that, and then we will tape this down here. Okay, and a little bit more here. There we go. And now I have all of this top part. I just need to weave in this part of the top part. So I'm going to do that. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Didn't quite have that woven properly. Missed under here. Come on. There we go. There. Now we've got that woven properly. And let's go across this way now. And we're going to, oops, finish up the top of this. And then we'll be really close because the other two sides that we still have to do are much smaller. There. There we go. Nice. Okay, and now we need somebody else. Now we can use this gold one, I think. Or maybe, you know what, I think I want to save this gold one for over there because I don't have many more of these really bright, fun pieces like that. So let's hold on to that one. And I will use this purple one here. Okay. And it looks like I'm going to need to go underneath this silver just a little bit. I don't know why I cut that one so close. That was just silliness of me, right? It did not need to be cut so close. There we go. Okay. And we've still got, like, here's the corner. So we've still got a little ways to go. Here I have some more cut pieces that will work. Here. Let's see. And if I go under that, that's the last piece I need to go under. Still a tiny bit, just the littlest bit more. Okay, so let's see. Here, I can use, I think just these last two pieces will be plenty. This one. Okay. And then this one. Yep, that'll do it. Okay, so now I'm going to take this piece of tape here. I'm going to carefully just kind of slide up like that. And alright, good. Now that I've got that, I can carefully flip. And I know that all across the top is good. I should not have to re-weave, lift, or anything with any of those pieces. So I can just tape all of that down without worry. And I can tape some of this side down, not all of it, but a good deal of it. I think down to about here should be fine. Okay. And let's see, yep, alright, so now while I can still see what I'm doing, I can clip this. Okay. And there we go. Look at that. Ah! Get my arm caught and everything. Alright. Nice. Yep, see there's still the stuff that I still need to weave into. It has not been taped down. And we're good over here as well. So now I just need to do this little corner and this little corner. And then we'll put our stickery dude down here. Okay, so let's see. Go ahead. I like using a stiffer one right at the edge here. That one's not that much stiffer. Is this going to be long enough? This one that wanted to be? Yes, this one that, excuse me, had been asking to be part of the party here is long enough to be this edge of my weaving here. Perfect. Alright, so now we're just going to need a couple pieces, some really small pieces now, right? Can I slide this over a little? Yeah, I can slide this over a bit so we can actually see that dot. Polka dot. What's the point of having polka dots if you can't see them, right? There we go. What else? Any other little pieces that I can use? Little pieces that were cut off? Ah! I had one, I looked away, it flipped through the air. Whatever, dude. Here we go. Oops. Under. There we go. Alright, let's see. Is that all? That's all lying where it wants. So I'm just going to put a little piece of tape on what will be underneath the sticker. This will all be underneath the sticker. So I'm going to put a little piece of tape there. I'm going to help keep everything where it wants to be. Or I want it to be. And we'll do this guy, and then I'm going to do another one going the other direction so that things will stay a little better where I want them. Let's see, is there another piece of like cardstock or something here? Actually, I don't think I want a white something because it's right next to a white something. I think we'll use some of this really pretty, ooh, wait, we could use the, yes, okay. Or maybe this one should go this way. It doesn't really matter. There doesn't have to be a pattern, right? There hasn't been a pattern yet. Alright. Come on, dude. There we go. There. Nice. Okay, liking that. Okay. And here's a piece of the National Geographic magazine. That should fit nicely here. Okay, yep, looks good. And I think as I'm going along, I'm going to just keep taping these pieces inside where the little sticker. I keep calling it, I know it's not a sticker, but I'm going to call it a sticker, and we're going to deal with that. So I can keep taping it inside where the sticker goes here, as I go along. Let's use some of this texty bit. Blah. Yeah, whatever, dude. There we go. There, use some of the texty bit. That's been dyed with coffee and turmeric and stuff. Coffee and turmeric and stuff. Okay. And brown paper. Packing paper. Okay. And let's see. This is going to be long enough. We'll see. Hold on. Yeah, that's fine. I think that'll be nice right there. That should, there we go. So, almost to the edge. We're almost to the corner, and we're almost to the other corner. We're almost hitting both corners here, but let me tape these down inside the stickerish. And then we'll do a few more pieces that are going to go in here. Just looking for pieces that have already been cut. But they're not, I'm not going to be able to find all the pieces that have already been cut. Some of them I will just have to cut myself. Alright, so here, actually, this is going to make it, it's that I need something a little, the next piece would have to be way too skinny for that one to work. So we're going to do this one. And then I think another one of these thinner pieces. Let me see. I think I can find, here we go, a nice piece of graph paper that is about the right, perfect. Look at that. That is just what we need. Okay, so that'll be just about right here. And now I can tape this down. Oops. But I shouldn't move it before I tape it down, or that would not work out well. Okay. There. Now that's all taped down. And now I can finish weaving the opposite direction up to the corner. Okay, let's see. So, here we'll take this one that I couldn't use a moment ago, and we'll use it now. There we go. Maybe there it goes, and there. And I don't think we're going to see that part, but I'm going under there just in case we do. Okay. And I still need a little bit more. We'll go with this one right here. I'm pretty sure I need to go over this one still. I think we will see that. Come on, dude. Play nice. There we go. And then I'm going to still need one more. Pretty sure this little piece of brown here, this little piece of brown, should be plenty to cover up that last tiny bit of corner. There we go. Alright. So now I'm just going to take a little piece of tape to slide under this corner before I flip anything. Okay. There. Now I can carefully flip it and tape the rest of this side. Okay. And a little bit more. Here we go. And there we go. Alright. And I can cut. Where are my scissors? Here they are. I can cut all of this extra. Right. And cut this extra. There we go. All right, now we just have this one little corner left. This is actually really cool. I am very happy with this, guys. This is nifty. All right. So, all right, well, this guy is just sitting here saying, use me, so I will. All righty, then. We'll just go like this. Oh, and now we're going to have to make things line up. So, as we're, the next, as I'm doing the rest of the pieces, I'm going to have to make sure I have the correct number of pieces so that everything lays the way it should. We'll see. You'll see what I mean in a moment when we get there. All right. So I think I'm going to worry about that right now. All right. Let's get some pieces in here. This one will go here. Okay. And then not quite yet with that one. I think I need something a little bit longer. I'll go there and there. And there. There we go. And here. And let me see. Go. La, la, right here. And then this one. Whee. And this one. Ooh, perfect. Now I just need one that is the right thickness to go right underneath here. Is this gonna work or is this a little too thin? Why don't we start off with this because I think some of them need to be adjusted as to where they're sitting. So let's see what happens when I readjust where everybody is sitting. I think it's going to be easier to do that if I grab another piece to go the opposite direction here. So let's take, yeah, this is fine. We're going to take this one and weave it in and then try to straighten things up and see if we have the right spacing. All right. I should have been using two to begin with. Oh well, life goes on. Learning experience, right? Whee! Yellow, yellow, yellow. Anybody there? Yellow. Like, hello, get it? Yeah, I know, I'm a dork. All right, let's see. Come on, dude. Quit messing with me. Okay, so here we go. We got that there. We got this here. And now we need to make it all pretty because that is so not pretty. All right, so let's see. Let's get everybody playing nice. Right. And yeah, we definitely do not have enough pieces. All right. So that's okay. We can fix that. Arg. Oh my gosh. You're gonna drive me batty, man. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I might just be able to switch one or two of them out for a thicker piece, and then everything will lay where I want it. Okay, so we're going to take this purple one out. Okay, and then this nice darker blue here. right, quit messing with me, dude. I see you trying to drive me batty. Okay. Ooh, you did not. All right. So now I'm going to try to lay them all out nice again and see. I might need to make one more a little thicker. Um, or I might be okay. I think I'm going to be okay. So I'm going to slowly tape some of these down. Okay. I'll start with this yellow one. Right there. Okay. And just gonna get them taped down next to each other, nice and neat. So that everybody is playing nicely together in a way that we can continue to do the weaving as we need to. Here we go. We're getting there. Let's see. I'm going to lift these up and just finish this piece of tape down real quick. There we go. Without it being over those pieces, because now I want to, here we go. I don't know. I may have frozen. It looks like I'm frozen. I'm not sure. Oh, look, and somebody's calling me. Oh, well. All right. And yeah, there we go. That is exactly, I think, just what we need here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So I'm going to tape these down. Okay, here we go. Let's tape those little dudes down. And now I can finish weaving this. Okay. Oh, come on. There. All right. We'll use this guy because he was sitting there all ready to be used. Okay. You're very close. Very, very close. Alrighty. And then I already have one like that. Um, that's like right there. We'll do a white one. Let's see. Where's the edge of the paper? All the way over here. So I don't need to weave it before we hit the edge of the paper. Right? That's just not necessary. Okay. To here. And yep, just a little bit more. So let's see. Probably just take um, here. I'll take the end of this one and go right here. And that should do it. Okay, so I'm taking a piece of tape. I'm going to carefully lift this up and put it under the corner. There we go. And now carefully turn that over and get the rest of this taped down to the edge. Obviously, if you're doing something archival or whatever, then your what you're using matters a lot more. But this is just the cover to my little journal that I'm using, and so I am fine with these materials that I am using. Here we go. All right. So now I have this. Crafting is always a good idea. And it goes here, here, here. There we go. That's how it's going to sit, like right there. Okay, look at that. So I think what I'm going to do, now that I see that it works just fine, is take my double stick tape. Okay, I'm gonna double stick tape this sucker on, and then probably put some Mod Podge over the whole thing. Let it dry, and then I will trim it and decide where to go from there. Let's see. Oh, that was a little. Usually I end it a little before the edge, or so that I can put the next one there. Ugh. Here we go. And right here. And there we go. Oh, whatever. Life goes on. Okay. There. Sticky. All right. So here's all of this. Whee! And come on, dude. Let go. I know. I say dude too much. Do I really? Is it really too much? I mean, I am an 80s kid. All right. Ooh, perfect. Look at that. Crafting is always a good idea. Okay. So now I am going to take a piece of paper, put it down there, and I have the gloss Mod Podge. I also have matte Mod Podge, and I use the matte Mod Podge, but I was like, dude, life's short. Use the glossy one. So I am. I'm using the glossy one, and I'm just going with it. All right. I'm just going with there are no rules. I'm just having fun. So crafting is always a good idea. I love that sticker. That's a great saying. All right, so we're gonna get it covering everything. Um, because of the way the weaving works, this will usually kind of hold it down. Um, it could be a good idea to try to get some tucked in underneath, but like from the back, I'm not really worrying about it though, because I think what I'm going to do is use some of my fun washi tape when I'm done. I think I'm just going to trim the edge of the weaving all the way up against the edge of the cardstock that I wove this on top of. And then I'm going to make a border with some of my fun washi tape that just wraps completely around around it. So that will take care of any like not sticking to the underneath paper issues that I might have. So that's why I'm not really worrying that much about this. Okay, so I think this is good. I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to press it under something and then probably give it a second coat once it's been pressed under something for a little while, and then from there I can do the washi tape back. I'll probably put I don't know if I'm going to do something on the other side or if I'm going to leave it white. Then I'll trim around the outside and put the washi tape around the edge. So there is that, and I should have brought some water down to rinse this off, but I did not. There's got to be something I can. Oh, well, I'll just leave it on this paper. I'm going to move this over out of the way. There we go. Whee! All right, move that over there out of the way. And now let's see. I think I'm frozen. All right, guys, I'm going to end this because I'm not sure if it's still working or if it's frozen. So I'm just going to end it now.